What up? How y'all doing today? All right. This is going to be a video that's going to involve a lot of complicated subjects. So if you're not interested in really getting down and dirty and having a real conversation about who we are and what we want, might as well click off this bitch right now. Right? Legit, because this is going to stand here and upset a lot of individuals, because I'm a dissident. I've been a dissident since I was a child. When I watched my town and my family and my people, the individuals around me, my friends, and my community be destroyed, and the government didn't come save us, right? Like, nobody helped us. And I watched it happen again and again and again. And I watched as the talking heads on places like CNBC and MSNBC and Fox News and Business Insider and Fox Business and CNBC, right? All stand here and make excuses. And I watched as the opinions evolved from, these poor individuals who are hurting right now, to fuck them, we're going to automate their jobs away, and stand here and tell them to go fuck themselves. We don't care about poor people. We don't care if you can't continue to earn a living. We don't care about your family. We don't care about your society. We don't care about your civilization. We don't care about your fucking values, your traditions, your heritage. We don't care about you. We care about us. And then recently, I watched as the world lost its mind, as regular Americans stood here and stood up and yelled and screamed about how we were leaving Americans behind in Afghanistan. And I went, what about all those here who we've left behind? Right? What about all the people in this country who have been left behind continuously? Right? Like, y'all never give a fuck about them. But, 100,000, you know what I'm saying? Like, State Department workers and international diplomats and international businessmen. All of a sudden, we give a fuck. We care about the translators in Afghanistan. You know what I'm saying? We care about these people. And I stand here, and in my ultimate wisdom, I go, they don't give a fuck about us, right? like they don't. Why should I care about them? Like, when these college educated dipshits are left behind, I go, good. Thank God. At least it's not just us. And that didn't happen. They went back in and rescued them. And they risked Marines and SEALs and military members' lives, and people lost their lives doing it. And to me, I go, you know what? Fuck y'all. Right? Like, yo, fuck y'all. Like, real shit. Right? And then this pops up, where there's a Marine who stands here and calls for accountability of the generals who fucked up this mission. And in my head, I go, okay, you apparently don't understand that they don't care. like, they've never cared, right? They've never given a fuck about us, right? They've never given a fuck about what they do. They're not held accountable. They never will be held accountable. And you speaking up is going to do nothing but harm you in the end of the day. And we're going to listen to this guy's message, and we're going to break it down. And there's something about him that just bothers the shit out of me. I don't know what it is, but there's something about him that bugs the fuck out of me. Right? And we're going to get there. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's get into this video a little bit. It's about 7 minutes long. And we're going to break it down and we're going to go over this. And we're going to approach this from a dissident perspective, right? Because we're all dissidents at this point. However you got here is up to you, right? It doesn't matter. But if you're here and you're listening to this and you're part of the fam, you're part of the channel, you know exactly what we're talking about. You are not part of this system. You don't agree with this system and you would like it changed. Not reformed, right? Not like, let's fix this because there's nothing to fix. This whole thing is completely and utterly overgrown with bureaucrats and aristocrats and oligarchs that want nothing to do with us, that are not like us, that hate us with a passion. And these people need to be taken out of power completely. And this guy here is going to show the normal American's perspective. Let's get to it, and we're going to get there. Let's rock.
Hey, Lieutenant Colonel Stu Scheller. I am still, as of making this message, a United States Marine infantry officer. Been advised of the legal.
He's arrested at the moment. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting in the brig, right, for making this video right here. And I know you want to feel bad for this guy. I know you do. But let's keep this 100, all right? He's not being brave. He's being stupid, okay? There's a difference. There's a lot of times they overlap. Get nothing misunderstood. But he's not being brave. He's being stupid, okay? He knows his position. He's risking everything to stand here and uphold a system that the rest of us are going, fuck it, let this motherfucker collapse, right? When your enemy makes a mistake, don't correct them. You just let them fall down. It's important.
Channels that continued challenges to the military and political leadership could result in pretrial confinement and or escalation of my legal situation, which I'll get into momentarily. But I thought that this message, being the culmination of everything I've put together up to this point, was important enough that I wanted to put it out. And I hope that if you support me, you'll share this message because it's that important. To recap my position in the fallout of Afghanistan, I demanded accountability of my senior leaders. And I stated then that I understood that I might lose my battalion commander seat, my retirement, and my family stability. As it has played out, I have in fact lost all three of those things. Would I do it again? I don't know. But I can't explain to you why I made that decision at that moment. Looking at the organizations that are so dear to me, the military establishment and the political establishment of the American government, I was seeing key leaders that weren't being held accountable and were abusing their positions of power at the expense of the everyday American. And everything that I fought for is counter to that. The future that my sons are going to grow up in is contingent upon the organization being able to evolve, which only happens through accountability. Update on my legal situation. So the Marine Corps has offered me a very fair deal. Instead of...
All right. So he wants to stand here. All right. As the person I am, I have zero faith in the military, in the government, in the political establishment. And let's keep this all the way 100% honest. If you have any faith at all in any of these things, you're naive as fuck. Right? You're legit. You are a extremely naive individual. All right, let's keep that all the way 100 here, because this is there's no reason to have faith in any of those fucking things at all. Like, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
At a court-martial, they've offered me non-judicial punishment for violation of 2 articles, as long as I'm willing to resign my commission, give up my retirement, and accept a general discharge under honorable conditions, which is pretty fair. But there's, the deal hasn't been signed. I haven't agreed to it, neither have they, and I acknowledge that making this video might destroy that deal. And if the Marine Corps, after this video, decides they want to go in a different direction, I'm prepared to go in that direction and see where it goes. Believe it or not, I don't want to start controversy. I didn't make it 17 years in the Marine Corps and as a battalion commander by saying whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted.
Okay, let's keep this 100, okay? First off, we'll keep it honest about who this guy is, okay? He's actually trying to actively, right, become enrolled in the 2022 political elections, right? Which is an important thing to understand, right? Legitimately, this is an extremely important thing to understand. So he has political aspirations, which is why he is speaking up, right? I mean, get nothing misunderstood. This is not like some guy who's speaking up just because he, wants to correct a wrong. This is part of a political action, right? Secondly, he is about done in the Marine Corps, and he understands this because he's no longer in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is no longer going on, and so therefore he has been moved on from, right? So the military is about done with him, and he's, as he said, he spent 18 years in the military himself, and in doing so, that's kind of where he's at. So I just wanted to keep that honest about who he is as an individual. You know what I mean? And like, just putting it all out there, as far as shit's concerned. Let's keep rocking, though.
But as I sat here and looked at the fundamental changes that needed to take place in our key organizations, I just didn't see anyone else speaking up. To all the retired generals that wrote a very strongly worded letter to the current military establishment asking for resignations, I asked that those general officers show themselves, be prepared to give up their retirement and fight with me. If not...
And you notice none of them did, right? No one's come out to stand up for this dude, right? Because, no one wants to risk their shit for saving this giant garbage monster that's called America. And this is some complicated subjects that I don't know if y'all, if normies aren't prepared for this, right? But America's garbage, and it's not what you think it is, right? This country, its government is trash. It doesn't care about you. It's ran by a bunch of bureaucrats who are all trained at the same college. This is why it seems like it's moving the same direction, right? All these individuals know each other, but they don't know of each other. Right? They don't know what they're doing. No one's in charge. Whoever you elect isn't in charge either, okay? When you have 400, senators, no one cares, right? When you have, 100 representatives, no one, one of them doesn't have any power. And the president, in case you ain't noticed, has little to no power over the fucking executive branch. It's all ran by the legislature. Supreme Court stood here and said, hey, look, we understand that what happened with the election is illegal as shit. But we're not going to be the ones responsible for destroying this country and ending it. That's an important subject to broach. Understand something. Our country has been dead a long time. We've been running on fumes. I'd much rather just put the nail in the goddamn coffin and just admit it. But I guess first we got to win hearts and minds. So here's what we're doing. This dude, this is a political ploy, okay? It's not what we think it is in the end of the day, and he's trying to reach to the heartstrings of normies who want to defend the military and want to stand here and defend their honor about, the Marine Corps and, the dead soldiers and all these things. I'm going to tell you a secret. These politicians don't give a fuck about dead soldiers. Did you notice not one, not a one of these people we brought back from Afghanistan or a news media person, not one, has thanked the soldiers. Not one of them has stood here and said, these Marines lost their lives, or these individuals lost their lives in this attack. Not one of them. We want to thank them for going and rescuing our people. Because they don't care. They don't give a fuck about you. Let's keep rocking.
I do think that there are some inspirational voices still left in the political establishment. Reference Congressman Mast, Congressman Crenshaw's testimony.
Congressman Crenshaw. Oh, Pirate McGillicuddy. Arr. Red flag laws. Arr. Yo, fuck that guy.
Yeah, Secretary of State Blinken. I was inspired by some of those lines of questioning. However, I don't think that their voices are enough to spark the change that's required within the military establishment. Hence the reason I'm wearing this uniform now and making this video, because I think there's a fundamental change that needs to take place, and somehow we're missing it.
I think you missed the fact that a change took place and you were not fucking informed of it, right? But, my buddy told me that Marines are called crayon eaters for a reason. I don't want to call him an idiot, but he's not that fucking smart. Either that or he's really smart and he's playing a dumb guy. One of the two. Not sure. I'm not absolutely sure.
The reason I can't let it go, and the reason I am not just taking the offer and quietly exiting out of the Marine Corps, is because I feel like there are general officers in our institution that aren't being held accountable. For example, Secretary of State Blinken just testified in Congress and got beat up, justifiably. But why General McKenzie, who was the CENTCOM commander from Trump to Biden, didn't have to answer those same tough questions. Afghanistan has been a DoD run and led mission for the last 20 years. Why the Department of State is taking the face shots to the fall is beyond me.
Because the Department of State also had its part to play inside of this, right? I mean, Afghanistan was ran by everybody, right? The Department of State was, over there, trying to win hearts and minds and set up economic measures and, spread feminism across the world, which we're going to get into as well. We're going to get into that as well, right? And then you had the DoD was over there handling the military aspect of things and contractors and all the things that went with that, But again, the State Department is basically part of the Department of Defense. When you count in the defense spending, you kind of got to count in fucking State Department spending as well, because you're paying off, a lot of these little garbage ass countries to, not be assholes and cause you more extra headaches of having to put troops there to stop them from being retarded. These things are all part of, our defense strategy. Let's keep rocking though.
I think it may have to do with the post-Vietnam generation that feels the need to show respect to service members to the expense of not offering criticism that I think our General Officer Corps rightfully needs. I think history has demonstrated that general officers don't always have the right answer. Before I get into my way forward, there's one other comment I want to make, and that's to General Berger, the Commandant of the Marine Corps. General Berger, sir, your pivot and transition to the next fight, I think, is admirable, and I think it's for all the right reasons. But I offer to you, if you can't hold senior leaders accountable, then it's all for nothing. You had a predecessor that talked about an awakening. He talked about the role of the Commandant was to protect the very soul of the Marine Corps. But he focused on the NCOs that, in my opinion, have fought very bravely and valiantly for the last 20 years. I do believe there's an awakening that needs to take place, but it's not at the NCO level. It's at the general officer level, the people that are not being held accountable, the people that are leading this organization. And I ask that you use your leadership to use some introspection and look at the problems that are occurring. I'd also like to address General McKenzie. Sir, You made comments that are public record on August 31st.
And let me also say, there's a danger in being on the internet, right? Because when you're on the internet, people listen to you, and if you're like smarter than the dumbest individual there, you will end up having your voice be heard, and people will kind of, how do I put this? They'll stand here and patronize you and make you feel like your voice should be heard. And there's a danger to that. You end up with this dude. Legit. You end up with this dude here who is way over his head for what he's speaking of. Legitimately. This dude's jumping out of a window and he has 33,000 subs on YouTube. That's not a big enough audience in the end of the day. Like, you had a viral video at the right time about Afghanistan. That's not how this works, right? You're a temporary news story on the internet. And I'll be honest, by the time I drop this video today, this news story is pretty much going to be over. There might be some checking back on things, but it is what it is. Everybody gets their 5 minutes of fame, homie. You know what I mean? You jumping out of a window right now, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it's real positive for you. I hate seeing people do this to themselves. That's kind of my mental. I'm like, bro, you're gonna end up in a bad position. Let's keep rocking.
That stated you made bad assumptions, that you left hundreds of Americans in Afghanistan, and then you itemized pieces of equipment that total hundreds of millions of dollars. I know you are a great American. I know you didn't intend to fail. I know you have served very honorably and are probably a great leader. But that doesn't absolve you from the accountability of your bad assumptions. I am announcing, I've read the entire UCMJ in the last 2 weeks of my purgatory and all the punitive articles, and it turns out that all military officers are subject to the UCMJ. It's because it appears to me that no general officers are willing to hold each other accountable. I am submitting charges against General McKenzie for his bad assumptions. Not because I'm vindictive, but because the senior leaders need to be held accountable to the same standard as us.
Oh, okay. Now, we've all seen this play out before, right? Legitimately. All of us have seen this play out before. And sometimes it works. I've seen it work before. Where, what we call paperwork terrorists, which I love paperwork terrorists. I think they're the funniest thing ever, right? Because I can't do that. I'm not good with paperwork, right? But I've seen a lot of these where this goes very badly, where the judge goes, no, it's not happening. You just keep all right, understand something, right? There's two things we can do here. One is we can keep pushing, right? Because I feel like that's what we should do, right? I feel like we should just push this rock and tell them, yeah, man, get it done. Right? Push. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you press all those charges on all the people. In fact, press charges on Joe Biden, right? You know what I mean? Because, you really kind of want, the whole system to kind of collapse in upon itself. And you're just I want to be done with this dumb shit because I don't care. I want to be over with. I want to start over, right? Legit. I don't want to do this anymore. Legit. I'm tired of waiting. Let's get this over with. But on the other hand, I'm like, God, this is going to end so badly for this guy, right? He's either A, going to get Barry sealed, or B, he's going to be homeless, divorced, with nothing, right? He's going to have a failed political run. They're not going to let him into office. His wife's going to leave him. He's going to end up on the street, right? With no job, massively known amounts of, public persona, and he's going to be fucking hotter than lava to touch for an employer. I'm not looking forward to either one of those for you, son. Legit, I'm not. But yeah, that's the path that you're choosing to take. Understand something? I'm just a regular civilian and I'm hiding behind my anonymity for a reason, right? Like, you're legit. That's what you have to do. Like, you got to understand, like, yo, look, you can make your points and be known, right? But not be known at the same time. Like, this is why, like, you people have used pseudonyms for years, right? You don't do this as a Marine Corps officer, right? You don't put your face on things. And there's a reason why. It's because it makes you a target. And even if they stand here and they clip you, right, and you get Epsteined, right, and they try to claim that you won yourself out, right, because you just couldn't tolerate things anymore. And, you know, they stand here and they go on the news and they turn the bat phone up to 11 and tell everybody how, you know, you just ended your own shit. Nothing will change. You'll just be an example to the next person of what not to do. And things will continue on in the same manner. Yo, it's tragic. Let's keep rocking, though.
I will drop the charge sheet.
By the way, man, you need to fix your fucking mic. Like, yo, just putting that out there. It's fucking annoying. It's like piercing my motherfucking temple and shit.
You can see my legal argument on social media. I will route it through my chain of command. I will also route it directly to the former Raytheon board director, Secretary of Defense Boyd Austin. And then concurrently, I will file an IG complaint, and then we'll just see where that goes. Additionally, I'm starting a foundation to raise money through the Pipe Hitter Foundation. We'll drop the link. It'll be live on Monday, where people can donate to my family that's moving on to the next chapter, and also to raise legal fees for the legal argument I'm making against the CENTCOM commander. I love America. I love the Constitution. I love Americans.
Again, we're dissidents, not an American, right? And put that like this, okay? At label, American. First off, my family comes from the place where America got that name, right? Amerigo Vespucci was the guy, the cartographer who drew the map. It's where we get the name America from. A lot of people don't even fucking have any idea about that shit. And I'm an Appalachian, right? And in being so, I have much less in common with somebody from Boston or California or Portland. You know what I'm saying? Than I do with other individuals who live near me. I'm an Appalachian. I'm not an American. And my geography has dictated how my life has been. And I know a lot of individuals don't have this experience. And that's fine. Right? But we have. We live better, eat better, move better, act better. And we have our own culture and our own heritage and our own way of living. And I like that. I don't want to have rules made for me by people who live in Washington, D.C. I don't like the federal government and their authority over my state and my community. I don't like having to pay taxes to the federal government. I don't like having to support the welfare, Social Security, Medicare state. I don't like having to stand here and be dictated at how I'm able to make money by a bunch of individuals who take donations from places like Raytheon and other corporate oligarchical structures. I don't like the government setting how my kids get educated. I don't like any of the things that are going on right now. I don't like any parts of this. And so therefore, I'm going to stop saying that I'm an American. Right? Because the values of individuals who run things are completely antithetical to my own. That's my mentality. Let's keep rocking.
But we can't all be wrong. You only have the power because we allow it. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, and I was the only officer in the entire American coalition fired in the debacle of the Afghanistan fallout. I acknowledge that I
Squeaky wheel gets the grease, son. It's that simple, right? The nail that sticks out is the one that gets hammered. Bruh, don't poke your fucking head out and this shit won't happen to you. Let's keep it 100.
should have been fired. However, the hypocrisy of the general officers who are not being held to the same standard is a microcosm for the entire problem that is going to bring down the great institutions of this republic that we love.
Yo, man, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these institutions are already, if they're not dumb, they're not down now. They're all on their way out. Like, it is what it is, right? They're not worth saving. Like, why are you trying to save these things? Like, why are you doing this? It's fucking dumb. Like, you should stop doing it.
I implore you, please use some introspection to fix the problem that I am trying to vocalize.
My job.
Well, that's the video for today. The mentality is when your enemy's making a mistake, don't stop him. Legit, don't stop him. Anyway, yo, look, Tom P's of Pnoid News, man. Listen, yo, all the links is in the description for the video. We're gonna be back tonight probably with a live stream. We're gonna do some shit on Moldbug or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll do something. All right. It is what it is. Yo, check out some merch, man. Yo, Pnoid got merch, man. Listen, I'm about to drop some merch for the Leave Me Alone party. We're gonna get it done. I'm gonna holla at y'all. Peace.